My friends, the wheels are coming off. Inside Harris campaign headquarters, emergency meetings are underway. Obama's former campaign manager just called the early voting numbers scary. CNN's Van Jones admits he's nervous and worried about Pennsylvania. Even Hollywood celebrities are getting desperate. Will Ferrell just released a video threatening to hold you personally responsible if you don't vote for Harris. But here's what they're not telling you about why they're really panicking. And when you see a campaign crumbling like Harris is right now, it reminds me of something important. Everything eventually shows its age, just like Kamala's tired policies and rehearsed speeches aren't fooling anyone anymore. Your body's collagen levels are showing signs of age too. After 20, you lose 12% of collagen each decade. If you're noticing wrinkles or sagging skin, like Kamala's sagging poll numbers, you need the right types of quality sourced collagen. That's why I use this magic secret powder. Unlike typical collagen supplements, this product combines the top 5 critically important types of collagen for skin health. It's formulated to help reduce visible signs of aging, reduce wrinkles, and promote a youthful glow, and promote skin hydration. Do your skin a favor. Get it today while it's 51% off only at healthwithgary.com. Plus, if you order today, you'll get free VIP live health and fitness coaching for life, a free new ebook titled The 14 Foods for Amazing Skin, a 60-day satisfaction guarantee, and free shipping. Once again, that's healthwithgary.com, or simply click the link below. Okay, I have to issue this cringe alert real quick. I've been getting text messages from this video. It is absolutely embarrassing. This is going to give you secondhand embarrassment. Kamala trying to start a chant at her rally earlier today and fails miserably. This is just how bad she is.
Thank you.
Okay, so they're chanting Kamala, Kamala, Kamala. And she's done this before where she interrupts perfectly good momentum. And then, remember the last one? She's like, oh, now I want you to shout your name. And everyone's like, what? And they're dead silent. Very similar situation, but this one's even more embarrassing.
Let's vote. Let's get out the 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 vote. Let's win.
Oh, wow.
All right, let's get to work. 24 hours to go. And
how embarrassing is that? How embarrassing.
The vote. Let's get out the vote. Let's get out the vote.
And nobody even responds to her. That's just how cringe she is. Now, this was posted 4 hours ago. But it shows you just how terrified the global elite are of President Trump winning. Now, this is Yuval Noah Harari. He is one of the advisors to Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum. Here he says that Trump will destroy the global order.
Are you concerned that Trump might be elected again? Shortly?
I think it's very likely. And if it happens, it is likely to be the kind of like the death blow to what remains of the global order. And he says it openly. Now, again, it should be clear that many of these politicians, they present a false dichotomy, a false binary vision of the world, as if you have to choose between patriotism and globalism, between being loyal to your nation and being loyal to some kind of, I don't know, global government or whatever.
The guy looks like Bat Boy, doesn't he? Remember those National Enquirer front pages at the grocery store? Bat Boy comes alive. Bat Boy spotted, right? It looks like Bat Boy, but in real life. Here he is. Yeah, Bat Boy in real life. President Trump telling us this just 5 hours ago. For years, we've all waited for this.
4 years. It was hardworking patriots like you who built this country. And tomorrow, 4 years we've all waited for this. 4 years of rallies, good ones and bad ones, but we didn't have any bad ones, I don't think. We had no bad ones. But 4 years, think of it, 4 years, and now it's tomorrow. Tomorrow it's hardworking patriots like you who are going to save our country. All of this was to really, all of these hundreds and hundreds of rallies were to put us in position to do something great for our country. This is, in a way, the harder part. Honestly, beating all these people and fighting all of these people, going through the lies and the vicious statements about you and your family and everything. But all of that was worth it. It puts us in position to now be able to do the job. And we're going to do a great job for everybody, for 100% of the people. We're going to do it for Democrats, for liberals or progressives if they prefer, which they do prefer. But we're going to do it for independents, and we're going to do it for everybody. We're going to do it for everybody.
Trump is doing it for everyone in this country. Here's Scott Jennings. This was posted 5 hours ago by Insurrection Barbie. Scott Jennings, the Harris campaign is built on attacks and dishonesty. Watch this exchange.
And here at the end, yes, here with a handful of hours to go. I mean, she doesn't have to attack Donald Trump, I guess, because she's done it every single day of the campaign since she got into it. It's been a relentlessly negative and relentlessly dishonest campaign. And here at the end, they want credit for trying to be positive and unifying after a week of Republicans are Nazis, Republicans are garbage, Republican women are weak and stupid. So I get it. I understand why they would want to tout this one time that she didn't relentlessly go negative and dishonest against Donald Trump. But to me,
look at her face. She's like, he's so right. He's nailing it right now. Their faces tell it all. All right, sorry.
Campaign is obvious. It is, they are betting all their chips on there's just enough people in the country who hate or are willing to fear Donald Trump to win. That's about all they've got.
So wait,
and I think Kamala Harris has been frightfully vague about what she wants to do.
Who's been more negative, Kamala Harris or Donald Trump?
Harris, without question.
Oh, come on, stop.
Every day.
And I personally think it would be dishonest not to acknowledge that the bulk of the attacks that Kamala Harris lodges against Donald Trump range from basically dishonest to absolutely, I can't believe they're getting away with this, dishonest. On policy, on all sorts of things. And I feel like this goes unacknowledged because of how Trump operates, and I fully admit that he says things that get our attention and that sound outrageous
and incredibly
but we don't hold her to the same level of accountability, and the bulk of their campaign against Trump has been she sits on a throne of dishonesty when it comes to his agenda. He did not write Project 2025. He did not put it in a book. He does not hand it out, and that is the bulk of their campaign, and it's ridiculous. What I decided to do in this election was focus on the future. Who do I think would take the country and the government in the basic direction in which I want to go? But most of the time, a government that he would build would probably do most of what I want. And I think none of the time that's true for Harris. She's given Republicans like me, who don't really come from the MAGA wing of the party, absolutely nothing. And just to put a point on what I said earlier, the headline that I woke up to this morning in Axios was "The No Comment Candidate. Harris' strategy clouds how she'd govern. She doesn't want voters to know whether she would stick to her old liberal views or govern with new centrist thinking. I'm a Republican. I'm a conservative. How can I entrust my vote with someone who won't even tell me whether they have a conservative view?"
That is so dishonest.
Wow. I love that guy, Scott Jennings, man. He's awesome. Now, this is coming out, new reporting that hard conversations are ongoing inside Harris campaign headquarters at this time. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz met with campaign manager Julie Chavez, Jen O'Malley Dillon, and campaign co-chair Gretchen Whitmer this morning to review early voting data. The meeting was described as somber. Harris was told to prepare herself mentally for a devastating loss on Tuesday. The joy is gone. That is from Bad Hombre. Fox News reports that early voting numbers are scary for Harris. Democrats are panicking. That's according to a former Obama campaign manager who's issuing the warning. I've got that clip here. I do believe that here it is. Let's see. Actually, before we get to that, let's play Van Jones talking about how nervous that he is. And I'm going to find that clip.
Trending down, not worried. Philadelphia is where we've got to run up a big margin. But Philly overall has been trending down, not in terms of going toward the Republicans, just people not getting out to vote. And so you got people out there like Pastor Carl Day, who's got a bunch of young men with him, knocking on doors, trying to get people to come out. It's a bigger, tougher fight in Philly to get that vote count up than it has been in the past. That has me worried. The other thing that has me worried is that the Jewish vote in the suburban areas, Biden won the Jewish vote by 70%, 70-30 last time. Some polls show Kamala at 50-50. That is 70,000 votes we've bled away. That is the margin for victory. So you got groups like Zioness, Amanda Berman out there fighting to get the Jewish vote back on board. This is a tough
Trump campaign doing ads
and
to
the
try
Trump campaign pushing the other direction. So this is it is door to door, bruised knuckles, tired legs, a lot of coffee, and I'm nervous and worried, and I'm not going to be anyway until this thing gets called.
Okay, is there anything that is making you happy about Pennsylvania?
No, there's nothing making me happy about Pennsylvania. You got David Urban out there causing us trouble in the rural parts of the state. Get David Urban on this show and keep him here all day, and then I'll feel better.
Just don't let him leave.
I don't want him out there.
Same question to you. Is anything making you happy about Pennsylvania? Is everything making you nervous?
I just have to say, if only there's something that Kamala Harris could have done early in this campaign to help with the Jewish voters of Pennsylvania, could it have been that the governor of Pennsylvania is a Jewish American who would have been, and a very popular one.
Just because if she'd been Josh Shapiro doesn't mean every Jew is going to be voting for her.
I mean, it might have meant a whole bunch of Pennsylvanians voting for her. This could go down as the biggest.
Moving on.
I'm just saying. Anyway, I understand why you're nervous. Look, I think whoever wins Pennsylvania, I mean, obviously, 90+% chance are going to be the next president. And so these campaigns have pulled out all the stops there. The fact that Harris is going there a ton means I think they're nervous about it. And I look at some of this this early voting stuff, and it's like a witch's cauldron. You can lean over and smell the vapors, and you can kind of sort of see what you want to see in it. And Republicans have some reason to believe that maybe the Democrats aren't doing quite as well with their turnout operation. But the reality is nobody knows nothing. And so for old political operatives like Van and me, that does make you nervous because of the closeness of the polling and just the uncertainty around all the data. And I'll be as interested as anybody on election night. So I don't know whether I'm nervous or not, because at this point, I'm not sure there's, what else can you do? What else is there to say about it? Pennsylvania is the state.
But I'll tell you, the other thing that makes me nervous is in 2016, we had a big star-studded event right on the edge of the election, and we lost the state. I don't know if I don't think people understand. Working people sometimes have to choose. Am I going to go to the big, cool concert this week and pay for babysitting for that? Or am I going to try to figure out a way to get to the polls? I don't like these big star-studded events. Worried, Philadelphia.
So, there you have. Okay, let's go to Obama's former campaign manager, Jim Messina, telling Jen Psaki the early vote numbers are scary.
They did last time.
Right now, if you're the Harris team.
Well, look, I think it's a couple things. The early vote numbers are a little scary, and you and I have been texting back and forth. Republicans didn't do what they did last time. Last time Trump said don't early vote, and so they didn't. Republicans do have an advantage in early vote numbers. When the early vote come in, it's going to look a little bit different than 2020, and that's scary. But when you kind of dig into the numbers that I care the most about are two blocks, women voters and young voters. And those two voting blocks are coming big, Jen. Women voters make up 55% of the early voters. And in the past 10 days, young voters in these battleground states are coming out in what looks to be, for early vote, historic numbers. And that makes the Harris campaign very, very happy. But when you look at some of the early vote numbers, it has led lots of your friends and my friends to call me panicking.
The watchword of the day is humility here. when you have polls that are this close, and I'm sitting next to one of the great pollsters, and I think she would tell you, when you have polls this close, you're not sure of anything. And it really matters who shows up because these polls are not precise. So what I'm worried about is you're counting on some women who are independent Republican women to come out and vote for Harris. Is that going to materialize? Is the gender gap going to be what you need it to be? Are minority voters going to come out in the numbers of African American voters in particular, and are you going to get the margins that you want there? So there are a lot of open questions, and they're obviously working it hard right now. There are feet on the street, and they're doing the kind of work that you do in a race like this. But this race is filled with uncertainty.
Right now.
Yep, but Jim Messina telling Psaki the early vote numbers are scary. Let's see if we can get the full context here. Okay, so David Axelrod, as you saw, he's also worried about Election Day turnout for Vice President Harris and said the election is filled with uncertainty. Where is the joy? The Team Trump internal memo detailed that Democrats are facing a massive turnout deficit. Arizona urban turnout is down by almost 400,000 votes compared to this point in 2020. Female turnout is down almost 200,000 votes compared to 2020. Rural turnout is up over 14,000 compared to 2020. That's Arizona. This is Democrats facing massive turnout deficit. Georgia, urban turnout down by 153,000 votes compared to 2020. Female turnout also down 46,000 votes. Rural turnout is up in 171,000 votes compared to 2020. Michigan, urban turnout down 320,000 votes. Female also down 204,000. Rural turnout is up in 55,000 votes. North Carolina, urban turnout is up. Female turnout is up compared to 2020. Urban turnout's down. Female turnout is down, and rural turnout is up. Nevada, urban turnout down. Female turnout down compared to this point. Pennsylvania, urban turnout is down. Female turnout is down. Wisconsin, urban turnout down 100,000. Female turnout down 238,000. So this is really bad news for early voting. If this many people are down in the Democrats, these are key voting blocks that they need. And they're completely hemorrhaging. And of course, we have Will Ferrell. They really think that Will Ferrell and his endorsement is going to save this.
Possible. I'm just one person.
Instead, he's threatening. He's not. There's no joy here. These are threats. But of course, he's a comedian, so he can get away with it.
Just one person? No. Shut the up, Gary. Last time, only a few thousand votes kept Trump out of office. And this...
Okay, I have to say, I didn't watch this clip beforehand, and I had no idea he was going to say my name. But that's pretty funny. Okay, I want to see that again. That was hilarious. Okay.
Just one person? No. Shut the up, Gary. Last time, only a few thousand votes kept Trump out of office. And this time, we will hold you personally responsible, Gary. Don't forget to vote, Gary.
What the hell was that, dude? Oh, man. Well, don't worry, Will. I already voted. And you can hold me personally responsible, okay? I voted for Donald Trump. Dude, that was funny. That was funny. I didn't watch that beforehand. I did not expect that to happen. Oh, that's hilarious. Who's he talking to? I guess he's talking to me. He's been watching Next News. Western Lensman posting this 13 hours ago. Hate TV, Joe Scarborough goes on a moralizing rant, trashing Trump rallygoers.
I will ask the question that I think is a fair question to ask. Who raised these people?
Yeah.
Because they were not raised by anybody in my neighborhoods that I grew up, any middle-class neighborhoods that I grew up in. These people were not there. They were not raised. I mean, they weren't in the classes I went to growing up in elementary or middle or high school or college. They just weren't there. That wasn't the America I grew up in, where people would laugh at the idea of people of press getting shot. Like, everybody would like sit around and like, what's he talking about? Or again, the
laughing at the Puerto Rican
other
joke.
things, laughing at the Puerto Rican joke.
My God,
that Puerto Ricans are a pile of trash. Are laughing at a 83-year-old man being bludgeoned nearly to death. That's an applause line. That's a laugh line. Again, who are these people? Where are they coming from, and who raised them, and how did Donald Trump twist their point of view so much in 9 years that the brutalization of an 83-year-old man is something to laugh about, or the shooting of press members is an applause line?
Yeah, laughs and cheers when Trump suggested the press should be shot. And my friend, the legendary photographer at the AP, Evan Vucci, who's traveling with the Trump campaign here, says that as each rally goes on, particularly last night in Georgia, the threats from the crowd to the press, they're there in the arena, only growing. They're really concerned there about the security situation. And that,
you know, listen, if they would just act like legit press, then people wouldn't be upset. But when you have venomous reporters spewing hatred and lies all day long, you're only going to be making people upset. So how about you stick to the facts and leave the commentary to people like me? Okay? But if you're not going to, then I'm going to hold you accountable with my viewers, Joe and Will. But this is the most beautiful moment right here.
To go and thank you. Let's vote. Let's get out the 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 vote. Let's win.
She can't even get a chant going in her own rally. And that's hardly a rally. That looks like a school gymnasium. There's maybe like 200 people there if she's lucky. And she can't even get them riled up to give to chant. All right, let me make sure I've got everything covered from this segment. I think we do. So yeah, that was not okay. I want to see this one more time. One more time.
Shut the
I need to see
up, Gary. I'm just one person. No, shut the up, Gary. Last time, only a few thousand votes kept Trump out of office. And this time, we will hold you personally responsible, Gary. Don't forget to vote, Gary. I'm just...
Oh, that's great. That's great. All right. The panic in Democrat circles isn't just about polling numbers. It's about what these numbers represent. When Obama's own campaign guru admits the early voting data is scary, when CNN's top analysts are nervous and worried, when Hollywood resorts to threats against Gary, you know something unprecedented is happening. But here's what I want to know from you. What do you think is the real reason behind this Democrat meltdown? Share your thoughts in the comments below.